So let's talk about what happened leading up to the debate and then what was said at the debate about Warren. Okay, so first of all, and I want to show this. This is just to give you any idea where CNN is. They ran this story.
Flood suddenly brewing between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. The two Democratic presidential hopefuls will face off in the CNN debate in Iowa tomorrow. Warren is blasting the Sanders campaign for reportedly giving volunteers a
You're not?
to follow to denigrate her as a candidate.
All right, hold on. Sorry, everybody.
But that may now be only part of the story between these two. Here with me now is CNN chief political analyst Gloria Borger.
What's happened? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That wasn't plugged in, so you didn't hear that. That's my fault. All right. So we will get this plugged in a jiffy. Oh, that's why this is always.
Oh, yeah. That's why it's like easier for you to manage.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the short cable magoo going on.
A little bit of a short cable magoo.
Yeah.
As Ron just indicated.
Well, guys, what you missed is that they're saying that there's this beef between Warren and Bernie, and CNN, of course, made that up because what did CNN do? They published a story based on not one, not two, not three, but four anonymous people saying they had information about a private conversation between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. And in that private conversation, Bernie Sanders allegedly said a woman cannot win the presidency. Bernie Sanders, there's video footage of him in 1988.
We're going to get into this. We're going to get into
so
this.
It's ready?
So this is all queued up. So.
And CNN political correspondent MJ Lee. And MJ, you have some new details about a meeting between these two, a long ago meeting before either of them joined the race. Tell us about this.
That's right. We have some new reporting on a private meeting that took place between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren in December of 2018. You can do the math on the timing of all of this. This would have been when both senators were both preparing to launch their 2020 campaigns. And the two met in Warren's Washington, D.C. apartment, and they discussed a couple of things. And here's what CNN learned. We learned that the two discussed the importance of staying civil and not going on the attack against one another if the two were to face off in the 2020 election. They thought that it was important to not undermine the progressive movement. We also have reporting that they discussed ways to beat Donald Trump, and that Warren told Bernie Sanders that two major reasons she thought that she would be a strong candidate was because she could mount a robust argument on the economy and that she thought she could get broad support from female voters. Now, four sources tell CNN that Bernie Sanders responded to Elizabeth Warren by saying he does not believe that a woman can win. Now, we are also told that Sanders expressed some frustration about the role of identity politics for Democrats, and also that Elizabeth Warren disagreed with Sanders' assessment that a woman could not win. Now, the Warren campaign did not comment in response to this story, but Bernie Sanders has just sent this statement to CNN. I will read it in full. He says, "It is ludicrous to believe that at the same meeting where Elizabeth Warren told me she was going to run for president, I would tell her that a woman couldn't win. It's sad that 3 weeks before the Iowa caucus and a year after that private conversation, staff who weren't in the room are lying about what happened. What I did say that night was that Donald Trump is a sexist, a racist, and a liar who would weaponize whatever he could. Do I believe a woman can win in 2020? Of course. After all, Hillary Clinton beat Donald Trump by 3 million votes in 2016. So, Brianna, not only is Bernie Sanders aggressively pushing back, he is now accusing the Warren campaign of lying.
Well, it's interesting because the Warren campaign isn't commenting. Elizabeth Warren could say, no, that's not actually, the conversation isn't happened. So that's really important to note that, Gloria. But I wonder, how do you think this plays? There's either he personally doesn't think a woman can win if you take this conversation at face value, or that American voters won't support a woman in his opinion. Doesn't matter which one.
Oh, she just blew off Bernie's. She didn't say, well, it sounds like there's not enough. She didn't go, well, there's only four sources. We don't have evidence. They're already caging or couching the argument as Bernie said this, and now
Bernie
he's back.
definitely said this.
He definitely said this, and he's backpedaling.
And it's not interesting when she goes, well, it's interesting the Liz Warren campaign's silent. Why was the Liz Warren campaign silent for so many hours? I'll tell you why. Because they're a political campaign and they know how the media works. And they thought, we want this to spread to as many places as possible. When you live in a country like the United States that has a corporate media with no journalistic integrity at all, not even a little bit, none. They have zero. CNN, when something fits their narrative, they will publish stuff given to them by anonymous sources. They don't. If it fits their narrative, you can say whatever the hell you want. CNN will publish it. That's what they did here. You give it a little bit of time, other media picks up on it, and who is their source? CNN. So it's a game of corrupt, no journalistic integrity telephone where, hey, 4 anonymous people said this stuff to CNN, they publish it, and then other publications are like, oh, CNN said this. Our source is CNN, whose source was 4 anonymous people who weren't there. And that's how this works. The Liz Warren campaign knows that. So they were silent for a while. And then when they finally made a statement after it had already disseminated and they got what they wanted, they gave this, oh, yeah, no, he brought that up, or he said that, but I disagreed. It was like just one sentence, kind of vague, like, oh, yeah, this was said, but I disagreed. And then moving on to trying to play the diplomatic card, like, I don't want this private conversation to be brought up. I don't want this to be an issue. No, you do want it to be an issue, Liz. That's why in the debate tonight, you had a pre-planned answer for it to pat yourself on the back. This was deliberate. This was diabolical. This was shady beyond comprehension. And if you had any doubt in your mind, and I know there's still Bernie supporters giving Liz Warren the benefit of the doubt. Oh, she was silent because she didn't want to give credibility to this stuff. That is nonsense.
Bullshit.
I have some coastal property in Ohio to sell you if you believe that. This was diabolical. Liz Warren has revealed who she is, and nobody should give her the benefit of the doubt anymore.
This is a page out of the Hillary book.
Big time.
You can't
Big
beat
time.
Bernie on policy. You're dropping in the polls. Bernie is surging in Iowa. 3 weeks before Iowa, where Bernie is now in poll after poll after poll is in the lead. Suddenly, that's when this conversation from a year ago, where Bernie said you can't be president. Where, come on, Bernie in 2015 said, you run, Liz.
Yeah.
Bernie went around.
He tried to recruit her.
In 2015,
he drafted her.
He went around saying, I'm too old. I'm a crazy socialist. Somebody run against Hillary. Somebody. Liz Warren, who doesn't have any guts or leadership backbone, backed down and acquiesced to Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. Because she was threatened by Hillary or whatever. This is who Liz Warren is. But I mean, I can't watch any more of these people because the woman on the left is a Clinton. She's a Clintonite. She works for the Clinton campaign. So you can't trust any of them.
Well, they're just thrilled because they got their ratings grab. And then, again, and you got the video right here. In 1988, Bernie Sanders was saying a woman can be president.
This is what Bernie said in 1988.
The real issue is not whether you're black or white, whether you're a woman or a man. In my view, a woman could be elected president of the United States. The real issue is, whose side are you on? Are you on the side of workers and poor people, or are you on the side of big money and the corporations?
Liz Warren is on the side of big money and corporations. I mean, she just proved that. Like this, and I understand politics is a dirty game, and every single person who has ever been in office in the history of ever has done a few strategic things they're probably not proud of, at least. I know that. I'm not that naive. But Liz Warren, with this action, has clearly shown she does not give a hoot about the progressive movement. She is not a progressive herself or anywhere close. And I'm not saying this to you, Graham. I know we've known this for a long time. But I'm saying this out there. If you've had any doubt in your mind, that should be extinguished now. Liz Warren is right on par with Pete Buttigieg, right on par with Joe Biden. That's the camp she's part of. And Bernie really needs to go after her.
Well,
she's not his friend.
Here's what happened. So her own campaign, if we can go to the wide shot, her own campaign is telling key supporters to de-escalate the fight with Bernie, insinuating that Sanders is a sexist would be really bad news for us, a campaign official cautioned supporters in a pro-Warren group
That's
chat.
Because it's backfiring on them.
Yes, it is.
That's because it's backfiring. They're just now they're trying to play the good guy. Don't fall for it, people.
No.
Do not fall for this.
I mean, Bernie... You know, in the debate tonight, he goes, look, this thing's all over YouTube, because anyone that's not, 70, immediately, that clip we just showed of Bernie from 1988, that started flying around the internet the minute this came out.
Yeah.
And then stuff like this. I also met with Bernie Sanders before
Yeah, I saw
announcing
that.
my
I
candidacy.
retweeted that.
Yeah, we had a nice one-on-one conversation. I informed that I would be running for president. In that meeting, he showed me the greatest respect and encouragement, just as he always has. That's Tulsi Gabbard. That's Tulsi Gabbard, who runs because she runs on what she believes in. Is she a politician? Sure. But I think ultimately, when she says something that I don't agree with, I don't think she's saying it because it's political. I think she probably thinks charter schools are better. I don't agree with her on that. You know what I mean?
I haven't heard that specific thing. What did
she
say?
said some stuff about it, and I don't know enough about it to make a comment on that. And I don't want to get into a charter school discussion just right now. My point is, I trust Tulsi Gabbard is coming up with most of her decisions because this is who she is and what she believes.
You disagree with her judgment.
I disagree with her judgment or her opinion or a policy on something.
Right.
I don't think Liz Warren, she was a Republican. She flip-flops on everything. She was for Medicare for all, but then she says all this nonsense, and all she can play is identity politics, just like all of these centrists. That's all Klobuchar, that's all any of them can play on. And Liz Warren, the thing that was so offensive about, well, it was this. We brought it up, but Caitlin Johnstone brought it up during the debate. CNN Questions asked Warren, what do you think when Sanders told you a woman cannot win an election? Like it happened, like it's a fact. Immediately after Sanders said it never happened. Fucking enraging.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. They just kept going with it. He's like, yeah, no, that didn't happen. So you're saying it didn't happen? No, it did not. Liz Warren, what was she doing? She had her head down.
Yes.
She had her freaking head down.
Because she knew she was lying.
And then she tried to spin it. And she got the soundbite she wanted with the whole, the women win the elections, the guys don't. She got the soundbite she wanted. This was all planned. There was nothing. The Warren campaign, they are not the good guys here. This was diabolical. This was a scheme, and I just,
It's the thing that was so, they didn't go, they made Bernie he answered the question directly twice.
Yeah.
They go, no, wait a minute, Bernie.
Well, more than that, because he sent it to them in the first place.
Right.
What he answered it right away. Liz Warren, silence.
Right.
Why? So it could spread.
Right.
That's
he sent
why.
it immediately to CNN. He immediately made a statement, said that I would never say that. And then at the debate, he goes, first of all, I didn't say it. More importantly, and then he goes into all of his reasons of supporting women. He talks about Hillary Clinton, who, by the way, he endorsed. After she lied and cheated him, he still endorsed her, which enraged a lot of us Bernie supporters. But if he hates women so much and doesn't think any of them can be president, why did he even endorse Hillary?
Yeah,
why did
that hurt him politically?
It hurt him politically. That hurt him politically. Why does he back? Why did he back AOC? Why does he back all these women? Right? And then what drives me so nuts is they make him answer it twice during the debate, and then they don't go to Warren. Hey, wait a minute. Bernie just said he didn't say this. Did he say this? Prove it.
Yeah.
They didn't say prove it. They just
it.
know it's a done deal. And Caitlin Johnstone, our friend, is completely right. She's completely accurate in this. But let me show you something. CNN is for goddamn old people, just like MSNBC and just like Fox News. And not a lot of people are watching these debates. Really, they're not.
Which is good. You know, I mean, I was thinking as
them.
we were watching this, I actually thought, because it should be criminal the way these cable news companies try to harbor their debates, and keep their debates from the public. That should be illegal.
Yeah.
But when they are this bad, I'm actually glad a lot of people are spared this
Or just tuning out.
Or you tune into this where we can tell you how awful
it was. Literally, and then they try to every debate, they criticize Bernie's Medicare for All plan and then cut to a goddamn commercial for a big pharmaceutical company and or a healthcare company. Every debate this has happened.
Oh, that was my favorite part of tonight's debate. Bernie, you need to give a price tag on Medicare for all. Bernie gives a price tag on Medicare for all. Next question.
Yes.
Biden, shouldn't Bernie give a price tag on Medicare for all? Biden goes into pre-planned lie. It's unreal. It's unreal. I mean, there were multiple, and that was similar to the moment with Liz Warren. Bernie, did you say that? No, I didn't say that. Liz Warren, why did Bernie say that?
Yes.
It's unreal.
It's
like they don't even listen to his answer.
No. But here's the thing. The internet is a little more democratic. 1.6 million tweets hashtagging Bernie. Dem debate, 426.
Yep.
Biden, 347,000 tweets. So a third of what Bernie gets. Warren, 562,000 tweets. Half.
Yeah, well,
Half.
And refund Warren was trending on Twitter. A bunch of people were like, we want our money back. You're going to do this? We want our money back.
Really?
You're not in it for a movement? Yeah. That's why her campaign issued that thing. Oh, we want to de-escalate this. Yeah, because it backfired on you.
You know who it backfired? It's all of the people, and I've talked to many of them, who are like, look, I love Bernie. Or the people who don't pay attention as much as we do. They like Bernie, but they think the two of them are together.
Right.
This
exactly.
This just backfired. Because now it's, you're just like everyone else, Liz. They thought she was different.
Yeah.
They thought, oh, no, I like Liz Warren, and her and Bernie together, or she'd be good on his ticket, or vice versa, or no. Now they all went, no.
Right. And I'm not referring to those people when I'm saying this backfired on them. I'm referring to Liz Warren and the powerful people in her campaign, the people that really have her ear. I'm not referring to, the people that we're talking about who think like, well, I like Liz Warren. I think she's one of us. I think she's a progressive. Those are the people that aren't fooled anymore.
That's the thing. That's why I'm saying it's such a it is a huge misstep. I mean, I'm putting this on par with Hillary calling Tulsi a Russian asset, thinking, oh, I'm going to take Tulsi down, and that backfired on her. It helped Tulsi. I think this helps Bernie. I think all the people that were like, I could go Warren, Bernie, coin flip now went, nope.
There's a lot of people who's like, she's not my number two anymore.
She's not my number. No way. She shouldn't be. You know why she shouldn't be? Because this is her standing when Trump says this will always be a capitalist country. That's why she did this, because a democratic socialist, and in his 1988 interview on C-SPAN, there's all this other shit on it and the YouTube thing, but if you watch the raw footage, it's a 22-minute interview. I highly suggest you watch it, because you know what he's saying? The same shit he's been saying for 3 decades. Yeah. A bunch of rich people run the country back in 1988, and he's saying the same things. What it also says is Bernie Sanders, I for independent, Vermont, and then they put socialist. Mm-hmm. That's who he is. Here's who Liz Warren is.
We renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
Pelosi claps. Who stands in the corner? There is Warren. There she stands, right there. There's Liz Warren standing right there.
After everybody around her did.
Right there. Standing with all these... And all these shithead Republicans start chanting USA like a bunch of fucking idiots at a goddamn football game. Like the morons that were at that stupid college football game last night where Trump, this fucking fascist asshole, went there with his fucking prostitute wife at halftime and everyone started chanting 4 more years. This kind of crap, Liz Warren, is why Trump will have 4 more years.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You idiot.
And notice how, it took everyone around her to stand up before she did. She has never had an original thought in her head. She has no ideas.
Nothing.
She is the opposite of what a leader should be. She has advanced in politics by being just a complicit person who sways with the wind. You think that's someone who's going to solve climate change? Ugh. Who's going to bring about a Green New Deal? Who's going to take on the insurance industries?
How?
We need a revolution, and she is one of the most counter-revolutionary politics that there is. Politicians that there is.
I knew she was nonsense when I saw her wag her finger and that Wells Fargo executive.
Yeah, the Wells Fargo.
Gave
beautiful speech.
Great speech.
But did nothing.
And that went viral, and everyone went, wow. And what nobody on the internet who pays attention the way we do realize, that Wells Fargo executive walked out of there with a $120 million severance package.
Right. Yep.
That's her tough talk.
Right.
And, oh, she's going to give tough talk. And I've got 3 brothers. And she's lied on the internet. It breaks down all of the places she's lied about her Native American heritage.
Right.
Which is brutally offensive. She'll do whatever she can. She's an opportunist. She was with the Republican Party till she was 47. I've said this numerous times.
Yeah, we all have.
I'm 50 years old. 3 years ago, I didn't vote for the fucking Republican Party. I will never stand for Donald goddamn Trump. Unless it's him walking in an orange jumpsuit on a perp walk to a federal prison. Then I'll stand and applause.
Yeah, me too. I'll say this, man, and maybe you haven't swayed at all. I have moved a little bit, though. Because, I knew Liz Warren was mostly nonsense long before this happened. But I will say, it was like Bernie, Tulsi, my desired ticket by a lot, obviously. And then in a very, very distant third was Liz Warren. I can't say that anymore. There is no distant third anymore. There isn't one. So, no, I went from disliking Liz Warren a lot, but being willing to at least hear her out if heaven forbid she's the nominee, to there is no. I mean, it's Bernie Tulsi or like that's it. There is no distant third for me now.
Well, also we can go to the wide, please. Is in this read this article, and I'll you know what I'll do? I'll put it in the show notes, and also I'll put it on the live stream right now. There's a whole thing talking about how Liz tends to exaggerate in her campaign staff, and she'll just kind of sort of make things up and exaggerate a little bit, like being Native American and stuff like that.
Supporting Medicare for all.
Little things like
being against what Hunter Biden got.
Yeah.
All those things she embellishes on. They cheated Bernie, except for when I say that and someone's not supposed to hear it.
Yeah, someone in her staff basically said, I don't know, maybe we say Bernie said this, and she's like, yeah, I can guess I kind of remember that. I don't remember. So she's like, and she knows CNN isn't going to drill her on it. CNN's not going to go, did he say that? He just said he didn't.
He just said he didn't say it. Did he say it? Look him in the eye and tell him that he said it. Look him in the eye, Liz Warren. She couldn't do that. She couldn't even look ahead, let alone at him in the eye. I mean, it's even Washington Post contradicted her. The Jeff Bezos newspaper, who wrote 16 negative stories about Bernie in an hour or whatever it was, even they were like, yeah, according to someone else who was privy to that conversation, that's not what Bernie said. And then their recollection matched what Bernie is saying he said. So it's ridiculous. And now we're having this discussion around a private conversation. Well, the world is on fire. And Bernie has a plan to do something about it, and Liz Warren doesn't. And she doesn't want you to know that.
Wait a minute now, Ron. She wants to green up the military. That's her big solution? So there's literally fire tornadoes in Australia. Friends of ours in Australia, fans that came to our tour in November, are dealing with horrific stuff that is absolutely caused and made worse by climate change. And she wants to green up the military. That's her plan. This is the same military that her and Cory Booker and Tim Kaine voted to give an extra $80 billion for in October of 2017. So to anyone out there who was in the, hey, I like Bernie, but Warren's my number two, or she
shouldn't be anymore.
No, tell your friends who are big Warren supporters, tell them this information, tell them these facts, show them that clip. Show them what Bernie said. It's just preposterous to me. And that kind of lying is that, first of all, she'll get crushed by Trump in a debate.
Oh, are you kidding? Yeah, Ayanna Pressley won't be there to bail her out.
Yes.
I mean, and you know what? I do a quick side note here. We do have to have a moment of silence for Cory Booker. Cory Booker, of course, left the race, and there was that. There is one frat house in the country where the flag's at half mast today.
Yeah,
in honor of him. Leaving the race.
It's like every time a centrist leaves the race, you know what I mean? An insurance executive loses their wings.
Right.
So it's really it's like a country club just loses one less tee time.
They get a member that drops out.
Yeah, every time.
One less member.
Yeah. Poor
Cory Booker.
Poor Cory Booker.
I mean, he has more time to do cake stands with his college buddies now, so he has that going for him.
Yeah, hopefully Rosario Dawson, big Bernie supporter from 2016, his girlfriend, will talk some sense into him into backing Bernie.
When is she going to? I mean, I've wondered that. Like, I'm like, why is?
What are you doing?
I guess opposites attract. I don't know, but I hope she talks some sense into him.
I don't know.